Hi everyone, welcome back to Colouring Kid. So today I'm going to be doing some watercolouring with this postcard, which is from the RHS 20 cards to colour and send. These are the flower postcards. I found them at Waterstones for 75% off, so they were literally about £2.50. And okay, even cheaper than that, but because they're only £9 usually, so £2.25. But yeah, they're really good, and I'm basically doing them for my mum for Mother's Day. So I've got till the end of March, and I've got to do 12 because for anyone who doesn't know, she has opens one a month, and she's got a frame that she puts them in. As I've said before, oh sorry if the camera just moved then, I need to put backgrounds on 3 of these. Got this one, you might have seen these before, but Snowdrops, this one here, and this one most recently. So I've done 4, so pretty good, because I don't want to rush them, I actually want to do them nicely. But yeah, I've taken out all the ones that I'm going to do. These are anemones, for anyone who doesn't know. My mum told me what colours everything should be, what they are, so that's good. So yeah, as I said, I'm using my super colours. My most used ones are actually in my Prismacolor case, but I have the 40 set with about 3 open stock ones. So yeah, let's just get started. The brushes I will be using are a mixture. And I know it's not going to be really a tutorial thing, it's just going to be more how I do it, because I got a comment from the lovely Robin saying that she finds it tricky sometimes using watercolour pencils and they don't come out very vibrantly. So I'm just going to show you how I do it and kind of do it quite close up for you, which is why the camera angle is slightly different, so it can just be more close. Now these are just really cheap brushes from Tiger. They're actually really good. I'm not going to complain about them because they are actually not bad at all. I use those for big areas. I've got these cheap ones as well. These are like old makeup brush things, but they are very flat and small, so they are good. I have a Faber-Castell brush that came with the gelatos. I have a Dahlia number 3 brush, which is my mum's old brush. And these 3 new-ish Winsor & Newton foundation ones, and they're all really thin, so I've got those. And I've just got 2 cups of water beside me and some kitchen roll, which I'll just fold up. So the first anemone, I think I'm going to do 4 colours. So I'm going to do, let me think, I think I want to do a light pink, a dark pink, a purple and a red. A reddish colour. So I think we will do the light pink one. Let me just get my colours out. So sorry if you can't see this. Just getting them out. Okay, so I think my light pink one, I think I'm going to have red, purple, pink and pink maybe. So I'm going to make this one the pink one. I'm not going to tell you any of the colours, but I'm going to show you how I would go about doing this. Is that zoomed in enough? Perfect. So the way that I do things is, say, because I'm going to do this yellow bit first. Do a light layer, and as if you're just using pencils, but it can be a bit more rough because it doesn't need to be as detailed, obviously, because you're just going to go over with the water. So that's kind of how I would do that. Obviously that was quite small anyway, but for these areas that are slightly darker, I would personally go in with the darkest colour first. And as I said, this is really rough, so honestly this doesn't even matter too much. I think sometimes with watercolour pencils it can be how you actually apply the water and kind of the order that you do it in. If you start from light to dark, it allows the lighter colours to be shown, but also for the darker colours obviously to not overpower the lighter colours. If you do it the other way round, most likely you're going to drag the darker colours into the lighter colours, and then you're not going to actually see the lighter areas. So what I'll do is I'll show you this light one, and then I'll show a darker one too, so maybe either the darker pink or the purple. Probably the purple. Or the red. So this is almost done. So you can see how quick and easy this process is. It's so much quicker than colour pencil, but it still looks lovely. And I don't use watercolour in my colouring books, but I think I'm still getting a good use out of it by doing these postcards and things. And I also use it for artwork as well that isn't in colouring books. So now I'm just going to take a lighter creamish colour just to fill in the areas, so I'm not putting water on a blank colour. Like that. Okay, so that's done. Now I'm going to use a few different sizes of brush. I want fairly small ones and then larger. Here we go. So I've got just a few here, and I'm not going to show you, exactly which ones I'm using, 'cause it doesn't matter too much. So this yellow bit really doesn't matter. I'm just going to, you'll see my hand come away every so often, just so that I can dab it off. Okay, now we're doing the main thing. So yeah, for this petal here, you're going to start by just going around the edge and then slowly just work your way into it. And if you've got colour on your brush, dab it off and get a bit more water, and you only need a little bit. You don't want to drown it, because if you drown your colour, chances are the paper is going to buckle, and it buckles anyway, but you just don't want it to buckle more than it should. And again here, we want this bit quite dark actually, but again just being careful here. And also you don't want colours bleeding into each other, so say this middle bit was a really, really dark blue or something that you'd just done. You wouldn't want to go straight in with these light tones, because it could bleed. You can almost just go on these with a damp brush. It doesn't even have to be a very wet brush. So I'm going to call that one done. And we're going to move on to a slightly darker one. So I think I'm going to go for... I'm not sure. Let me zoom out. I think I'm going to go for red, purple, pink. Purple, red, pink. Purple, red. Yeah, so I'm going to do the red one here. So the red one has a purpley indigo middle. Let me just get a suitable colour. Sorry a minute, guys. And then I've got a few colours, a few reds. I don't have too many reds, but I have some. Now, because this is a very dark colour, I'm actually going to change the way that I'm going to do things this time. So yes, I'm going to do the middle again, which is going to be fairly similar. Sorry if the camera just moved. So these middles don't really matter too much. So I'm just going to call that done. But because this is a very dark colour, I'm going to change the way I'm going to colour this, and I'm going to start with a light layer. So typically what I do with the darker colours is, just so that I get a foundational colour down, I do a lighter one with a light layer. With the light colours you don't need a foundational layer because they're light enough already. But this can just be a really rough layer. And also what I recommend doing is, I find that my favourite part of these is actually applying the water. If you apply the water onto things and do it bit by bit, so you colour a bit, apply water, colour a bit, apply water, the danger is that, yes, the bits that you do first will dry. It's just that you might accidentally put your hand into something that's wet, or you know, you do something, move on, but then, you know, it might not work or something like that. So I find that it's just easier, now I'm going in with the darker colour, it's just easier to colour everything first in that particular area, or even the whole thing to be fair, and then go over it. So really, I know I'm showing you stuff, but I would probably actually be colouring all of these flowers separately, then applying the water. If you're working left to right, it doesn't matter so much, or top to bottom. So if you're working from the top flower to the bottom flower, then it doesn't matter so much if you do it flower by flower. But it's just a few tips on, you know, what's probably the best order to do things in. So now I've done the foundational dark layer, I've got one more colour, which again is going to be more of the veiny things. Now the only red colour that I kind of don't have is, this is more of an orangey red, kind of poppy-ish, but not fully. So I kind of wish they had a red more in between these two shades. And I mean, if I was using my polychromos or Prismacolor, it'd be great, but it's just quite tricky sometimes when you have a limited amount of colours. And then I don't think we're going to go over again with that lighter red. Well, it's not really a red, it's an orange, but I think maybe just a tiny bit on the larger areas like that. Yeah, that's done now, and we are going to add the water. And I'm going to use a small brush for this, because this one's a bit harder to do because of the difference in colour. So I'm just going to colour the middle first. And obviously I know this is a colouring channel, but also I think lots of people use watercolours in their colouring, even though I don't. So I know this will probably be kind of a one-off type video. I might do watercolouring more often, or arty things maybe, but as far as this channel goes, it's mainly a colouring channel, and I know watercolouring does come into colouring, but I probably won't be doing it too often. So I'm going to start now again. So I'm going to start with the petal over here. So these are very vibrant, and it's really dissolving into the colour already. So I'm just dabbed it off, and I'm just going to start now. And I'm going to dab off my brush, but then just go back into this area that we've just done, just so that it goes and forms a bit easier. And then we can just finish. Keep dabbing off, because you still want to get that dark red in, because it's beautiful. Again, use a dampish brush just to go in there and make sure that you can move the colour around. Moving on. Again, doing the same thing. And again, moving on. So what you can do is dip your brush into the water, but dab it off. You don't want a sopping brush going on to a fresh page. It's kind of the same thing with colouring really, because if you deliberately want a soft colour or a smooth area, then you can use a blunt pencil, but usually it's always a good idea to sharpen your pencil just to get the best possible lay down or colour. So it's kind of the same principle. So you can see how vibrant this turns out, so I'm glad I didn't do an overall layer again. So that my brush here is practically dry, but it's still picking up all of that colour, which is great. And I'm probably not going to do all of these for you, just because I don't want it to be a very long video. So yeah, I'll probably just finish on this one for now, but I think it's kind of good to show you the two perspectives of the different colours and how they lay down. And you can go back in with these watercolour pencils. It's great. You can just go back once they've dried. Oops. So I'm just going to, it may look very watercolory there, but it's not too bad. Just going to hold it up. Now on the camera it looks very different, so just going to blend this in a bit more. So these aren't like the Inktense, these are actual watercolour pencils. Okay, that looks like it hasn't got much colour on it, but it actually does. So they are the two colours. So as I said, this one will be purple, this one will be pink. Yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video and that hopefully, Robin, it's helped you, and for anyone who maybe struggles with watercolour sometimes. This is just my personal way of doing things if I'm colouring these. It's quite handy really that it's about this time that I need to do it. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Next video, I'm not sure what it will be yet, but we will see. I'm hoping to do my colour along for my hummingbird soon, so it might be that. Sorry if it is a bit late, as I mentioned in my other videos. I've got a really busy March, so yeah, we will see. But I hope you enjoy any colouring that you're currently doing. And thank you to everyone who's been subscribing and commenting lately. It's so lovely. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!